Hello, everybody. My name is Jerry Weathers, and welcome back to my channel and another interview for you guys. I'm excited to announce, introduce, not announce, introduce another SVBW talent. Um, I haven't talked to him a lot, but I'm very excited to hear his career, his story. But first, make sure. So we are an election year, everybody, and no matter what, make sure if you want to vote that you are registered. Headsup.org, I believe, or headcount.org. Sorry, headcount.org. Make sure you're registered, and you can register on the website as well. But I'm just gonna say that once, and we are going to introduce to you Eric Tyler Mullins. Hello, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jared. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing all well. I was doing all right, and then I saw this, and it just took me down. It just took me down.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to support my team after a big win last night.
Sure, yeah. It's just sad because living in Michigan, I'm a Lions fan, and I mean we
Your
did
team
win
won
yesterday.
yesterday too.
Yeah, we're 1-2. We're still at the bottom. Still at the bottom. Sad. Anyway, we're going to move on from football. We're going to talk about wrestling. So, to start off, I ask everybody the same question. If you watch any of the previous interviews I did, I want to know, when did you start watching wrestling and kind of getting into it?
Well, for me, it has been a passion throughout my life, really, ever since I was a young child. And I would say, really, the time I began watching wrestling was in the late 90s during the part of the Monday Night Wars between WCW Monday Nitro and WWF Monday Night Raw. If I had to put an exact date on it, I would say around 1998, 1999, when I was around 7, 8 years old.
Okay, all right.
And of course, my favorite superstar is The Undertaker.
Oh, all right. Yeah, he's
really cool.
One of those. A lot of people say that they're that he's their favorite. Yeah. So Undertaker, good, because that was gonna be my next question. Who your favorite wrestler was back then? Undertaker's obviously really good. He's one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. So you're watching wrestling. When did you realize, hey, that's what I want to do when I get older?
I really realized I maybe wanted to enter the realm of doing this probably so we'll say around 2013, 2014 was when I was really interested in becoming like a manager, becoming like a commentator for this, even a referee, something along those lines, and then transformed into a competitor. And I'll give you my timeline here. I started in a company known as XPW, and this was a company that was created by former backyard wrestler, now independent professional wrestler Josh Strong, and it was in Coburn, Virginia. And their first event that I was involved with was in March of 2015. And it was a wonderful show. It was just a lot of great matches packed into one day. And unfortunately, it was my only event with them. It was the only time I got to go down there and be with them, because we had kind of a falling out. And, me and Josh would still talk, but we wasn't as good of friends as what we used to be. You can understand that from the backyard perspective, of course, of things. A lot of disagreements, stuff like that. But we get along great now. Me and him are the best of friends, and I'm very thankful for that.
That's good.
And then I moved into a company known as PCW, which I co-founded with a good friend of mine, well, former good friend of mine named Channing Steele. And Channing and I co-ran PCW together. I booked a lot of the matches. He was starred in a lot of the matches, and I would do interviews. I would do commentary. I had a weekly talk show on there called Friday Night Wrestling Talk with ET, and that was where my boss persona was introduced, and that's my most outgoing, like, big time thing. So if you look at Prestige Championship Wrestling on YouTube, you can see that I'm very outlandish and very really where my start began. And then after that, I kind of took about a year off to kind of rest and focus on finishing my degree from our local college here, the University of Virginia's College at Wise, where I got a bachelor's degree in communication. And I'm very proud of that. And after that, I decided to go on to a company known as GSBW, Glade Spring Backyard, their general manager, and to have some matches every now and then if I wanted to. So mainly I focused on being the general manager, and I focused on building up their match card with them. Of course, Dustin and Nicole Little, Bobby Rudder was there, Hunter Becker was there, my good friend Clay Mercer was there. Just a lot of great backyard wrestlers came from GSBW, which has transformed into SBBW today. And then after GSBW, my career there, in 2018, I was mainly a wrestler. And I won my first ever World Heavyweight Championship in a 3 stages of hell match against the Beast Dustin Little. And to me, to date, that might be my best victory of my career. And I'm very proud of that. And thankful to them for giving me the opportunity to be the world champion. To be the world champion a lot of times. They want agile workers. They want people that they don't tire out quickly. Well, I knew then that was my big break. And then in 2019, Logan Price, which had gone away from GSBW, he formed UCWA, and he had me be the general manager over there until I decided to retire in August of 2019 as an actor. It was called The Law of Execution, Jared, and this is a pretty cool match concept. You'll like this. It's very similar to the 3 stages of hell, but it's very fun to talk about. So the first match is a normal match where it's just pinfall, submission only. You can get yourself disqualified, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Second match is a first blood match where you have to make your opponent bleed to win the match. And then the third final match would be a last man standing match if it was necessary. And of course it was necessary, being it was my retirement match. And I decided to retire that day, so Logan Price went over for me to not only retire me, but to win the UCWA World Heavyweight Championship, which I had won earlier in the day in a ladder match against Mikey Reed. And, you know, so that's where my career as a competitor ended. And now I'm basically a manager, commentator, and I've been put in 3 different Hall of Fames. I'm in the GSBW Hall of Fame. I'm in the UCWA Hall of Fame. I'm in the SVBW Hall of Fame. So there's my career as a whole.
Awesome. So, you know, SVBW obviously has a show coming up here in, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks or so, which I will be there for. And I'm excited to meet all of you. You a little less because of all the Packer stuff, but you know.
I won't be wearing any of that day for you, so I'll be nice to you.
So kind of take me through kind of how you and Logan decided to become like a team, I guess. You know, since you're his manager.
Well, there's a funny backstory to that. And it's really interesting when you think about it. It's kind of psychology based. So, the group known as Oblivion, which is the Dark Wolf, Logan Price, Madness, Mikey Reedy, the Bulletproof, Clay Mercer, and myself, were inducted into the SVW Hall of Fame in June. I believe that was at no, it's legendary. And so Logan Price decides, you know what, I'm going to take out every single member of Oblivion after we make this Hall of Fame selection. Sure enough, that's what he did. But if you notice in the attack, he didn't attack me as much. He only hit me with like one or two shots, maybe. But during the attack, he honed in his attack on Mikey Reed and on Clay Mercer. And this is where the interesting part comes in. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to be a commentator now. I'm a Hall of Famer. I'll just sit back and relax and enjoy the events. Well, we had this tournament called the King of the Yard, which was on September 5th. So it was about 3 weeks ago. And all due to phone issues and connection issues with the matches uploaded to YouTube. But Mikey Reedy and Clay Mercer had a match in the first round of that tournament. And they had asked me, they said, E.T., do you want to be the referee for this match? I said, absolutely. I'd love to be the referee for that match, being its former Oblivion members going against each other. And it's a wonderful showcase for you. So they had a brutal match against each other, man. Like, I'm talking share shots, not car shots, garbage can shots, just all sorts of weapons being used. And towards the end of the match, Clay Mercer gets Mikey Reedy into a figure 4 leg lock around a clothes hanger, like a pole. And Clay Mercer ultimately mission match. It was called tap or snap rules. So you either tap out or they're going to snap. So Mikey Reedy passed out. Clay Mercer won the match. Anyway, after that match, Clay Mercer was celebrating. And he was talking to me about talking smack and stuff, you know, on the channel previously and in the messages and stuff like that. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do this. I put a pair of what they would know as Mercer shades on. And then I gave him a Scorpion Death Drop. And that's how my partnership with Logan was reformed. So I took out Clay Mercer, and Mikey Reedy got back up, tried to fight back against Logan. Logan took him out. And then I made my presence known as the Dark Wolf Logan Price's manager, or advocate, you would say.
Advocate, yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, all the storylines that are happening in this match, man. I think it's gonna probably be one of like the best ones, maybe ever. I mean, there's a lot of story to this match, man.
And I don't just say that as a guy that's a manager going into it. I really mean it. Like, this Outer Circle versus Dark Wolf rivalry has really taken a shape of its own, really, in the past number of weeks. And it's super exciting to see it unfold.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, I have my own backyard wrestling company called Mayhem Wrestling. And I honestly would love to get you guys up here for a show someday, like a crossover event sort of thing one day.
Yeah, that's something that Logan has been kind of talking about. He would love to do a crossover with some other backyard organization, and that would be really cool. We would
Yeah,
definitely have to make the arrangements to be there, but just like you are. But
right.
yeah, we would love it, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I was kind of talking to Logan behind the scenes during the Tennessee backyard wrestling, uh, what you call it, debacle or whatever, because it didn't go to fruition. Um, I had an idea. I'm gonna run it by you here live on my YouTube channel. Um, I think it'd be really cool, and this is just me talking. I think it'd be really cool if we had SVBW versus Mayhem versus Tennessee Backyard Wrestling and maybe like another wrestling company, and we do just like a huge, almost like Survivor Series event with all of our best wrestlers.
Yeah, that would be something that I would really kind of dig, honestly, because we need new blood around these regions. Like we see these matches a lot take place in SVBW and stuff like that, and in your company and Mayhem and in TBW. Like all of these guys need new challenges,
Yeah,
and it's something that really needs to be looked at for sure. So I would be down for it. I know Logan would be down for it. The thing is, would be with travel, and
right.
we could figure something out.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I'm really excited to see or well, not just to see, to be there for you guys for at Survival War there. Um, but yeah, I'm just really excited because I've been talking to a lot of you guys. I've met at least half your roster by now, if not maybe a little more. Um, I have interviews with at
Right.
least half your roster. Um, and living up here, you kind of see the same people all the time. Because it's Michigan and there's nothing to do, so you just kind of don't really
Right.
do anything.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of the same way down here. Like we can travel to different states and stuff.
Yeah. But I'm really excited to be down there, man, and meet all you guys in person. And it's going to be really fun.
Absolutely, man. This is a survival war event. It's probably going to be one of our biggest events to date, really, since UCWA and ACBW merged together at the beginning of this year. And Survival War 2 is the name of it, obviously. Last year it was ACBW against UCWA. This year it's centered around, obviously, the Outer Circle, which consists of the Beast Dustin Little, who is the current SVBW World Heavyweight Champion, Hunter Becker, who's the current Rags to Riches briefcase holder, and Bulletproof Clay Mercer, and Madness Mikey Reedy, who are the SBBW Tag Team Champions, along with the entire Outer Circle. And then the managers of that team, the legend Bobby Rudder, and what I know as the Black Rose, Nicole Little. And Nicole, if you didn't see her retirement earlier this year, her retirement is something definitely to watch. It was really a whole lot of fun because, Jared, I didn't know this at the time, but at that time I said, I want to be the referee for this world title match. It was between Kine, who is a member of Team Dark Wolf, and the Black Rose, Nicole Little, who was the SVBW World Heavyweight Champion at the time. And Nicole Little would win that match, but after it, she would go on to retire. And I refereed that match. So I got to referee the final match of Nicole Little's career.
Yeah.
And I tell you, seeing that young woman grow, and I'm going to get emotional here, and this is talking about the adult circle. And, I'm going to get a little emotional here, to be honest with you. So, excuse me for that. But to see that young woman grow into the performer that she became in the backyard, since being a manager for her brother Dustin Little against Channing Steele in a match at ECW in March of 2016 to now here in 2020, her career path has been one of the most unbelievable and undeniable that you'll ever see. And I'm so proud of her. And yes, we might be on opposite sides of the coin here for the Survival War match, but Nicole Little should know that I am very proud of every one of her accomplishments, as is, quite frankly, and I'll speak for him too, and I don't care if he gets mad at me or not, because I can take care of Logan on my own. But anyway, I'll talk for Logan Price here too. Logan feels the exact same way. And, I'm blessed to have got the chance to see her grow. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about too, Jared, was just her career path and what it has meant to be around her since she began. Because nobody wanted to give her a chance. Everybody laughed at her at that day, at that event. You know who didn't laugh at her, Jared? I didn't laugh at her. Her brother didn't laugh at her. Bob Rudder didn't laugh at her. People that truly cared and wanted to give her a chance didn't laugh at her. And that's one thing I'll always take pride in, is believing in her, just like I believed in Logan my entire backyard wrestling career. Because nobody wanted to give Logan a chance either, but I did. And look at him now.
Yeah. That's I feel like
There's
that's
lots of backstory in this whole war match.
Yeah. Yeah.
But go ahead, Jared. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, no, like I have the interview with Logan, and that he did mention that he said that he was really happy to know Nicole and kind of watch her career go the way it did. Obviously Dustin hit on it, because that's and I never, like I said, I just met all of you within the last 2-3 months or so, and so I don't really know all the backstories. So I'm really happy to kind of get everything in these interviews. I have seen a few of Nicole's matches. I agree. I think that she's great. I mean, she just is. She's better than most male wrestlers I know, personally. Even like she's better than most independent wrestlers.
Yeah, it's very true, man. And she has, like I said, worked her tail off to get to where she is, and she had a hell of a career. And if she gets to come back later, that's fantastic, and I hope she does, because I don't want to sit here and think, man, I refereed the last match of Nicole Little's career. I hope she does get to come back. But I sit here and say, too, if I did get to referee the last match of her career, what a blessing. Yeah. Once she retired, because I met her that first day at ETW, Jared. It's unbelievable. And I'm so thankful for it, man. Like you say a lot of the times that you get to see the best friends and your best friends at these events. And I've seen that, Nicole. So I'll just leave that at that before I get any more emotions. Cry when he's away from the camera.
But yeah, and yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, that I mean, I know there's some people out there who are like, that are like, oh hey, wow, this guy's really good. And they're like they're friends, and they're like, well, like they're good, but they're not great. Whereas I feel like if Nicole got officially trained, I feel like she could go. Just the sky is the limit for her. Like I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I like her mic skills.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I like her mic skills. I like her wrestling. She actually like believes that this is like that, like this is it. Like if I don't win this, then it's all over. And I feel like a lot of wrestlers don't really believe that it's like a real thing in their head. But you can tell, she does. It's I don't know. It's really hard to explain if you're not a wrestler.
You know how I explain it to people, Jared? I explain it like this. When you're in the backyard or you're in the ring, all you're doing is just yourself amped up. That's all it is. That's all you have to do. And you have to fit into the mold of what you want others to see yourself as. And if you're doing that, then you're doing your job. And that's what I've told Logan. I said, Logan, be yourself, but be yourself amped up times 10. Don't listen to all the critics. Don't care. Who cares what they say? The only person that's confident enough to believe in themselves is you. That's the advice I'll give anybody.
I do have to mention though, and I don't know if it like correlates with anything, but throughout this interview, I honestly like you sound like Bruce Pritchard. Like, have you got that before?
Well, Bruce is definitely a great backstage mind. He knows what he's doing booking wise, and has been around the block several times. You know who is my idol, Jared, and you'll kind of get the correlation here once I say it. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's my idol. As far as being a manager, being a booker, somebody like that, I love Paul Heyman. Like he's my guy.
Me too. Yeah, I'm a huge Paul Heyman guy, even though I'm not a wrestler. My manager character, the chosen one, Jared Black, is it's actually Bruce Pritchard's brother love character, Jim Cornette, and Paul Heyman all mixed into one. So I do think that's kind of funny. Yeah.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I like that, man.
Oh, you know what? But I do have to show you something first. So give me a second. Hold on.
All right, take your time.
Oh man, where'd it go? I just had it. Oh, there it goes. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. Woo. All right. So I have shown this to most people, actually. No. But this is one of my wrestling gimmicks, I guess. It's the Black Bible. It's a part of my character.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
So basically, the story behind it is my character is a huge narcissist. So he decided if Jesus get the Bible, So do I. So he wrote one completely just about himself. It's all about Jared Black because he felt like he was missing out. Yep.
That's awesome, dude. I love that. That's fantastic.
This is an actual Bible I got when I was working at one of the hotels here. I went up to my boss and I'm like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
can I have this?" She's like, "What is it?" I'm like, "It's a Bible." And she's like, I guess." She's like, "We get them for free, so sure, go ahead." So I picked out a blue one.
Right. That's
I was kind of surprised she said
maybe I
yes.
need to start wearing my hat backwards like Paul Heyman does. That would be interesting for my manager character.
I would, yeah. Yeah, I would. All right, man.
You know, it's.
So yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. All I was going to say was that it's pretty funny. Like I'll tell you this story too.
Yeah.
Like whenever I wear my hat backwards and take my glasses off and have an angry face, like people look at me and like, oh my God, that is the scariest looking dude I've ever seen. And it's funny. Logan gets scared of it. Mercer gets scared of it. Reedy gets scared of it. Everybody that I know that's in this industry with us in SVBW, I've done it a time or two before and around them, and they get a big kind of kick out of it. But they know that I'm very serious when I take my hat off or put my hat backwards and take my glasses off. Like this is serious CT. Y'all need to listen. So I wanted to tell you that one too.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll just be sitting like in like my break room or like just like at my house or whatever. I'll just be sitting there, like no expression or anything, and I will have like my family come up to me like, "Hey, are you mad about something?" Like, no, not. I'm just sitting here. But people think I'm like mad or like upset or something. I'm like, no, just kind of bored actually, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, man, thank you so much for doing this interview.
Absolutely.
Man. I am so like you guys are like honestly like I think I told Logan or I don't know Dustin or I don't know somebody. I told somebody. You guys are like the nicest people I've ever met, and I you never know how people are gonna react to you. I kind of feel like I'm just like I'm an outsider, coming into a company for a show, and and I know all you guys talk and all you guys like know the plan and everything, and I feel like I'm just like I don't know how people are gonna react to me, like coming in and how they're gonna like be towards me, but I'm really happy all you guys are really nice to me. Like that's really cool. I'm happy about that.
Right. And one more thing before I get off here too, Jared, and we'll discuss it one more time. Survival War, obviously, it's on Saturday, October 17th. It's a huge day for the SVBW backyard roster and wrestlers. Outer Circle takes on the Dark Wolf Lodge in a traditional 5-on-5 survivors type series elimination matchup. But it starts out with one person on each team in the ring, and then at timed intervals, you'll have multiple opponents be entered into the ring, and then the last person standing on one team wins the survival war. So on the outer circle, it's Hunter Becker, it's Dustin Little, Clay Mercer, and Mikey Reedy as of right now. Four of them, they'll have a fifth member on their team as well. And then on Team Dark Wolf Lodge, it'll be the Dark Wolf Logan Price, Kine, and William Jackson on our team. So 3 so far for our team. 2 more to be named later. And I'll tell you this, the Outer Circle, they think they've got it in hand right now. They've got another thing coming come Survival War, Jared. And that's not too sweet. That is simply priceless.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm excited to come down there, man. I really am. I got the days off. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. But again, thank you so much for doing this, man. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna say yes or I don't know what he's gonna say. And so I was like, I'm just gonna take a chance and see if he'll do an interview with me. And surprise anyway, you said yes, and I'm very happy that you did.
Yeah, man, I'm glad that we got the opportunity to do this with each other, man. Like, you're a really cool dude, somebody that I enjoy talking to, not only on Messenger, but like right here, face to face, on the live video here and on the show. It's been a lot of fun to discuss a lot of different wrestling topics with you, and to just talk about our influences too. That's one thing I love, is that we're all influenced by somebody. That's the great thing about backyard wrestling and pro wrestling. When you're getting into the industry, you have to keep in mind that those influences help you tenfold throughout your entire run, no doubt.
100%. Where can people find you? Like, what kind of social media do you have that you want to plug on the show right now?
All right, I'm on Facebook. My full name's Eric Tyler Mullins, EricTylerMullins. And I'm on Twitter. I'm at BubbaTy1, capital B, capital T. And I do have a YouTube channel called ET Considers Everything, which is a pretty interesting name I came out with off the cuff. But I haven't posted much on there in a while. But I might start doing some live videos discussing wrestling, sports, something along those lines soon again. But my main ones are Facebook and Twitter. That's where you can find me at most.
Okay. Go follow him, everybody. Subscribe to SBBW. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Definitely watch Survival War when that comes out on the 17th. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but something's going to happen. Either a live video talking to Aaron, or I don't know, maybe streaming or something. I don't know. But as of right now, I want to thank Eric Tyler Mullins. I want to thank SVBW. I want to thank everybody for coming on here and honestly, like, being like the nicest people I've met in a long time. If you don't mind, I'm not getting paid for this. But I do believe everyone should be registered to vote, especially since it's an election year. So if you don't mind me plugging that real quick before we get out of here.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree on that one. Everybody should be registered to vote. Make your voice heard.
And to make sure you are registered to vote, headcount.org. Headcount.org. You can make sure you're registered, and you can also register yourself on that website as well. So go ahead and check that out. And a huge thank you to everybody at SVBW, especially for letting me come down there. That's really nice of everybody. And I guess I will see everybody down there. Have a good night. Have a good day. It's only like almost 1 in the afternoon. I'm gonna say have a good night, but have a good day. And Eric, we will definitely talk again soon.
Absolutely. Sounds great, Jared. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody. Have a good day.